Cindy leaned back in her plush armchair, the soft hum of jazz music surrounding her in the cozy lounge area. The rich mahogany wood of the bar gleamed under the dim golden light, casting a warm glow on the faces of patrons scattered about. She surveyed the room, her eyes landing on a familiar figure seated across from her at the round coffee table.
Nadine, longtime friend, was engrossed in her own cup of herbal tea, the fragrant steam swirling up towards her face. She looked up suddenly as if sensing Cindy's gaze, her hazel eyes bright with mischief. "Do you ever wonder," Nadine began, her voice slightly hushed as if she were sharing a secret, "what life would be like if we had taken different paths?"
Cindy raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Like what? If I had gone to culinary school, instead of finance?"
Nadine chuckled, a lilt of amusement escaping her lips. "Oh yes, just imagine you whipping up gourmet meals instead of crunching numbers. You'd definitely have a reality cooking show by now."
Cindy laughed, picturing herself in an apron, hosting a show called Finance to Fettuccine. "And what about you, Miss World Traveler? What if, instead of a photographer, you had become a marine biologist?"
Nadine leaned in, her eyes sparkling with possibilities. "Can you imagine diving with dolphins instead of climbing towers for the perfect shot? Although, that sounds a lot more Finnegan's Wake than Nat Geo." They both chuckled, their camaraderie smoothing over the many layers of life they had both chosen. But then, Cindy's expression became contemplative. "It's funny, isn't it? Here we are, sitting in this swanky lounge, sipping fancy drinks and dreaming about lives we didn't lead. What would it really feel like to forsake everything for a totally different life?" Nadine sighed, her gaze drifting towards a young couple at the bar sharing laughs over cocktails. "Sometimes I do feel envious of the spontaneity around us. Look at them. Maybe we should just pack our bags and go somewhere exotic."
Cindy tilted her head, contemplating. "What's stopping us? Money? Fear?"
Nadine shrugged. "Both, I suppose, but I think it's more the fear of leaving the familiar. What if we go, have the time of our lives and come back to mundane routines that rip all that joy away?"
Or, Cindy countered, what if we go, fall in love with the adventure, and bring a piece of that excitement back with us? Don't we owe it to ourselves to explore at least once?
Nadine's fingers lightly brushed the rim of her teacup, her brow furrowing slightly as she pondered. "Maybe you're right, but what if that piece we bring back never fits quite right again?"
Cindy leaned closer, her voice softening.
"Nadine, can't you see? Everything we have in our lives, every choice we made, they all intertwine just like this conversation we're having now. It's all part of the journey." Nadine's expression shifted from uncertainty to a contemplative grin. "So if I decided tomorrow to become a scuba diving photographer in the Maldives, you think I could figure out how to make that work?"
"Absolutely," Cindy replied with a warmth in her voice. "We're not bound to any one path. Life is more like jazz music, sometimes you just have to improvise. And who knows? Maybe your marine biologist skills will come in handy one day." Just then the faint sound of a piano cut through the conversation, a smooth melody breaking the moment. They both paused for a moment, soaking in the atmosphere, the smells of leather and wood mixed with the sweet scents of their drinks. "What if we write our own jazz lives?" Cindy suggested, her eyes lighting up. "We could try something new each month. Take a class, meet new people, explore our city like tourists. Use the mundane as a backdrop for our adventures." Nadine's excitement grew like a thunderstorm building in the distance. "I love it. What should we start with? Salsa dancing, painting, skydiving?" "Why not all of them?" Cindy laughed, the idea bouncing around the table like the bubbles in her sparkling drink. As they continued to brainstorm, plotting out their month of new experiences, the lounge around them faded into the background, laughter mingled with dreams, creating a tapestry of possibilities. And as the jazz musicians played on, the warmth of friendship filled the air, bonding them together in that sacred moment of hope and adventure. In that lounge, beneath the ceiling of dark wood and twinkling lights, two friends embraced the notion that life, like a set list, could change on a whim, and it was exactly that unpredictability that made it beautiful.